Welcome to Rottumer Island. Probably butchering the pronunciation of that. Sorry, any Dutch viewers. Random fact, about a quarter of my heritage is Dutch. So we're going to have a look around this map today. Yes, I'm a little bit late getting to it, which is really frustrating because I had early access to this map, but life got in the way. This is the update of the map which will enable console release. So coming soon, TM, depending on how long it takes to get through Giants testing. We're going to have a look around the map and we're going to have a little bit of a play of the map as part of the map tour. So I've started the map up on New Farmer, so we'll see what farming kit we get. This is where you start on New Farmer. I have had a look around this map previously. It is a stunning map, as with Marnux's other map. He put so much effort into the detail of the maps. I remember when I opened this map up for the very first time, messaging him within a few seconds. I don't know if other maps have this, but I was super excited that the boats move. I thought this was an incredibly cool detail. I don't know if other mod maps have it, but I think this is an awesome addition to a map. It just adds that little tiny bit of detail to bring some realism to a map. And as we all know, realism is key. So this is one of the things that you start with. So we will jump in the Skoda and we will head off. Now, I will load up another version of this in a moment with all of the farmlands brought, but we'll just have a look at what you start off with on New Farmer. You start off with a fair bit, so you own the boundaries and the roads and stuff. Let's just enable animals is enabled. Okay. Maybe that one's the animal pen. Okay, so we have a grass field up on the edge of the map. We've got a field. What's that? Got a field and a bit of a yard up here with a combine and some kit. We'll have a look at what kit you start off with. Doing a really bad job with the old controls there. Just going to get off of that actually because we'll just look another way. Yep, so we own that. And then if we come down this corner of the map, so our ownership is quite spread out. Actually, that's kind of hard to see. I just want to look if we own anything else before. No, so it's just the boundary, that little bit up here. The grass field and then the farm down here, which again we've got one crop field which has corn in it, and then some grass fields, and that looks like, so that's a cow farm, and I'm assuming this is set up with a kit to run a cow farm. So there are quite a few farms on the map, and we'll have a look at that in a bit. What I'm going to do is we'll just drive over to our farm, then we'll load up the other save that I've got, which shows everything. We'll have a quick look around the map on that, and then we'll actually explore the map a bit. We'll play a little bit because I think that's quite an interesting way of exploring the map. And yeah, so some sort of, is that a sell point there? So we've got carpentry and a grain mill. Nice. And that's a custom grain mill or a modded grain mill. There might be a mod. So there are some required mods for this map. Not too many. Whilst we drive to the farm, why are there required mods? Well, dear viewer, because I know that may be a little bit of a sensitive topic for some. By using required mods, that means that the modder that created the mod gets credit for the download. when you install it, and use it as part of the map. And also on, I believe, or is it that side? Oh, there's a farm. No, do we own both of those? That's a jolly good question. My map tours are a little chaotic. I am not Mr. CDP. So yeah, it looks like we own that side as well. Yep. Okay, so we own both. Awesome. But we will head to the main yard. Yeah, so it means the mod creator gets credit for the download, which is very important. But equally, when the mod creator updates said mod, it gets updated in your where you're using it. So that's very useful as well. So there we go. So we've got nice selection of kit there for doing cow related things by the looks of it. So I'm just going to swap saves now. We'll have a bit of a tour around the map, look at the different farms, and then we'll do a bit of farming. So I am now in a different save. We'll leave the car there for now because we will enable flight mode, because that will make things a little bit easier. Just to get around the map, and just to show you, we now own all of the farmlands, and what that lets us do is mainly see where things like the animal farms are, that kind of thing. So we will have a quick look. We have, where we are, 2 cow barns, and then across from that we've got a couple of greenhouses, and then where we drove past, we had the carpentry and the grain mill, and then there was a horse farm on our right. We will check that out as we go around. We've got up to the north of the island more greenhouses. That's a little farm, I believe. Then up right at the top we've got a cow pasture. Got another cow farm up here, so there are 3 dairy farms. Another one in the middle there, so that's our 3rd dairy farm. We've got like an arable farm. Guessing that's that one, or maybe the one that we start with as well. And then sheep pasture there, and I believe there is a 2nd sheep pasture on the map somewhere. So let's just get our flying mode on, and we will have a look at this. So in typical Monarch's fashion, and I say typical, this is only his 2nd map, remember, the farms are very nice and detailed. So in the back garden we've got, you know, tables and chairs set up, we've got the washing line, we've got the shed, we've got the nice pond. Yeah, it all looks very nice. And then over the other side of the road, we've got the greenhouses and the other cow shed and a bale store and a bunker silo. So this is very much set up for running your cow operation. It's quite a nice little yard, actually. Quite like that one. And then plenty of grass pastures around that for feeding your cows. And obviously, being a Dutch map, there are lots of dikes around and lots of water to crash into and sink into. So, yep, lots of fun to be had there. I hope your tractors have good brakes. We've got the lighthouse there, which looks like you can get out to. That's kind of cool. So as we go around the outside of the map, there's so much water. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. What's this? So this is the soup restaurant. So that's a sell point. They do good soup. If we just check the menu, it's probably going to be. Oh, yeah, that's a sell point. Okay, cool. And then if we progress further around, we've just got like little housing complexes and stuff more. There's our greenhouses we were at before. And then as we progress towards the top of the map, we've got our little yard with our cluster of 3 greenhouses that you can buy, another big pond. Curious if we can take water out of the ponds. We will have a look at that when we actually start playing. We've got some really nice kind of back roads as well, which I always like on a map, that you don't have to be on the main roads when you're doing stuff. So it looks like these link up to this farm. So that's kind of cool, because you could then mostly stay off of the main roads if you were doing that farm. Quite like that. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. We've got a nice windmill there, and all the little flowers in. This is very nice. Oh, I'm in the water. Yeah, very nicely done. Let's just turn off that tagging. Yeah, there we go. Let's get rid of that. And then, yeah, more dirt tracks getting us around the map. So here we've got the horse farm, which has some horses in it. I quite like that as well. It makes the map look alive when there are animals on the farms already. And because of the way FS works, the animals won't die, so they'll be absolutely fine if you don't buy it. Oh, there's a little exercise yard there as well. That's a nice little touch, buddy. That's very cool. Yep, I do like that. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. We've got a little shed. You could run yourself a nice little horse livery there, I would think. Yeah, that looks very nice. And then as we come down here, that's where we came in to the map. And I didn't point out, but I quite liked, as I was moving the car again, these details here where we've got the flood defences and like the concrete ramparts, maybe not the right word, and then the wooden beams that are going to go in if there's a flood alert. Love that. Love that. Oh, and then we've got a path here. And a random thingy. And then we've got the dirt track, which runs down here. How far around does this go? Seems to go quite a way. Yeah. Yeah, and it runs to the BGA. Oh, we do love a BGA here. This is a modified BGA. Believe it's based on the mini BGA in terms of the XML, so it should run nice and fast for you and process your stuff nice and quickly. We've got a lime crusher there as well. You've got a couple of nice big bunker silos, some sheds, so nice if you want to set yourself up a silage operation, and some decent sized fields there that you could do corn or grass or in or whatever for creating your silage. That looks kind of cool as well. I do like this. I do like that. That's very nice. Very nicely done. And then we've got a little towny bit there. Yeah. Little yard space there with a bit of space for expansion as well. What haven't we covered? There we go, another little arable yard there. That is the yard that we have. If we go into farmlands, so that one, it's quite spendy. It's quite spendy. But you actually get the field and the. Actually, that's not a bad starter farm, actually. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. And then behind us, we've got the sheep farm and the spinnery there. Is that all one plot? Yes, that's all one plus. That's not a bad buy, actually, for 180 grand. That might be a nice little starter spot. Get yourself a spinnery and some sheep. That might not be bad. That might not be a bad buy if you were starting out. Little start from scratch sheep farm, you know. 108, yeah, that'd work quite nicely. Thank you very much. So where was the other sheep pen? I'm sure I saw that there were two. But maybe I am incorrect. Yeah, maybe I am. Oh, there it is. Just down here. Let's go visit that. Okay, oh, that's quite nice as well. That's not bad. That wouldn't be a bad expansion to the starter farm. No, that wouldn't be a bad expansion to the starter farm, particularly with grazing and sheep, because the sheep can do well on grass. So, yeah. With that being so big, that would be pretty good. I wonder how many it holds. And yeah, that would be pretty good, actually. That would be pretty good. So, in terms of productions, you've got a lot of greenhouses, got the BGA, and then we've got a bakery, a carpentry, a dairy, a grain mill, a sawmill, the soup factory, that was a production, okay, the spinnery, and the wood mill. So you've got pretty much everything you could want production wise. Interesting, actually, that we didn't own the spinnery, even though we own this. So I guess we have to buy that separately. Yes, that's another 180 grand. So you don't get that with the land. That's interesting. Okay. That's not a problem. It's just kind of weird that you buy the plot of land and you don't get the building that's on it. But kind of makes sense. It's quite an expensive building, I guess. But yeah, I quite like the starter setup. And what we're going to do now is I think we've seen pretty much everything. So we've got a nice little empty plot there as well. You could stick down some sort of production if you want. Maybe if that BGA was a little bit too large, you could use some sort of mini version here. That would work. Some sort of mini biogas accumulator would work there, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to load up the unbrought everything save and have a look at just doing a little bit of farming on the map, have a look at maybe some contracts and just play the game a little bit, because I think that'll be fun. So we are back at the cow farms that we own, and I thought first thing we should do is look at the starter equipment that we get. So we'll do that and then we'll do some farming. So we've got a bunch of weights. We've got an Amazon seeder, kind of cool. Fertilizer spreader, really useful. Get a bunch of contracts done. Bale spike, manure fork, Breedle lime spreader. So we've got a fert spreader and a lime spreader, kind of cool. Class combine, very nice. Baler, oh, very good, sir. So we've got 143 horsepower Deutz. Bale trailer, slurry spreader, weeder or hoe. A thingamabobber. I can't remember which one that one is. The Horse Credo 3. I think that's a oh, why is it being difficult? It's not it being difficult, my brain's being slow. Power harrow. That's the word I was looking for, yeah. Sorry. Okay, so we've then got we've got a seeder and a planter, because that was actually so that's a planter. We've got a planter and a seeder. We've got a sprayer, new spreader, rollers, header, feed mixer, decent trailer, cultivator, 130 horsepower, 210 horsepower tractor. Wow. The header trailer, loading wagon, front loader, the weight, another tractor. So we've got 245 horsepower tractor. We've got all the tractors we could want. We've got a nice set of mowers, windrower, more weights. So is there anything we don't have? I guess anything we don't have is a bale wrapper. But we don't really need a bale wrapper because we've got the clamps. So I think we're pretty much set. We've got more tractors and we can shake a tractor-shaped stick at. And kind of looking at our fields, we've got a ton of grass that we could do stuff with. Visit. That is not ready. Then it said anything we can't do really, I think, is the silaging of the corn. Break. Other than that, we've even got in herbicide and stuff. Very thorough setup. I'm assuming we want to go out of this door, but we will double check because assumption and things, yeah, that'll probably be okay. So I think we will do a little bit of harvesting. That's always fun. Need to change these settings. Starting on new farmer is a little bit annoying. No one likes fieldstone. No one likes fieldstone. But what I want to turn off is automatic engine start. Because it also includes freaking automatic engine stop. The bigger question is, can I remember how to play this game? Because I've not played it in freaking ages. Can you tell? Crashed out +1. It's been a very long time since I've played a significant amount of farm sim. Which I think is becoming quite obvious. Due to a whole load of life stuff. Oh, there's water around it. Of course there is. Damn you, monarchs. So we've got to do it properly. Damn you, sir. Damn you. We're going to get a header on the combine. With all this bloody water around the field. I suppose we should probably have the header being pulled by a tractor. We do have crop destruction on, so we might end up losing some crop, I think. But we will find a way, much like nature. We will find a way. Q. Oh. Why are you not changing gear? Q Austin Powers style 1,000,000 point turn. Unfold the combine. Alright, we should have brought a tractor to move that trailer anyway. But anyway, we're all really here to see if I manage to fall in the water or not, aren't we? Yes, I know. Like that. But we were fine. Haha. I fooled you all. So yes, I understand this is not really your typical map tour, because generally people don't play the game on a map tour. But I thought this would be something that was a little bit different, maybe a little bit interesting to actually see what it's like. Let's jump into Deutz. To actually play the game on a map tour and just see how things work, see what the starting setup's like, because this is probably, if you start on easy, this is probably what you're going to do. You're probably going to crash as much as I do, because you suck as much as I do. I know. Yeah, let's just take the corner off the field. And yeah. So let's just do a little bit of what you probably would do. And it just, lets you guys see a little bit of what playing the map is like. Break, go. And I think that's kind of cool, isn't it? I thought it was a little bit different. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, I turned the lines off, didn't I, when I was doing something else? There we go. Yeah, so this to me just feels like a really nice map, to be honest. And I'm not saying that just because it's made by one of my friends. If you actually watch my content, you'll know I'm fairly brutally honest about stuff. And if it wasn't good, I would be telling you it wasn't good. So, yes. As I said right at the start, I remember opening up an early version of this map, which Marnock sent me, and seeing the boats rocking about in the marina and being super excited. And I love those little details that he takes the time to put into maps. I don't know if other modded maps have those. I don't know if Giants maps have those, because I've not been to where water has moored boats on their maps. But I think it's really cool. I have noticed that he has added in, I don't know, plates on the Dutch number plates, and I know that was a significantly requested item on his first map. For me, I don't care, but I know a lot of people do care, so he's got those added in. Yeah, big. And he really is passionate about bringing good maps to the game that folks will enjoy, based in his home country. And I think, I'm not certain, because I'm not an expert on Dutch maps. I've not played many/any Dutch maps, but I'm not sure how many good Dutch maps there are around. And so I think this is a really good, really nice example. It's been a long time since I've been to Holland, and certainly when I went, we didn't go out into any rural areas. But from all of the comments that I had on the first video I did on one of his maps, people seem to say that he's really captured the feel of the area he was trying to represent. Then this is a fictional map. Should have said that right at the start. But yeah, I think it's really nice. He's put a lot of time into it, a lot of work, and I think that shows in the fact that I think PC release went fairly smoothly. As said, frustratingly, I did have early access to this map, and I was unfortunately unable to take advantage of it due to the real world happening. But I kind of wanted to do something to show off this map, because it is a brilliant map. And I was kind of thinking of what can I do that's not just your average let's look around the map and show everyone all the stuff that they've seen in every other map tour. I'm not great at map tours. They tend to be very much like what you've just seen, in that I just load a map up and I have a look around. It's, you know, I don't plan these things particularly. They're very off the cuff, ad hoc. Let's just have a look around. But then I thought, actually, what about if we then take the starting setup, actually play with it a bit and see what it's like. I did note that although the sheep pens and the horse pasture have animals in them, we do not start with cows. I know on Flying Friesland you did start with cows. No, I don't think that's a bad thing, because starting with animals is quite a big asset. And this gives you a chance to get food sorted, get the straw sorted, all that kind of stuff. And you start with so much kit. You start with such a complete setup that I think having to buy the animals is not a negative at all. I don't see that as any kind of bad point about the starting setup. The starting setup is so complete. You could probably sell this farm, although the other farm doesn't have a huge amount of space for arable, so you might want to keep both so that you can do a little bit of arable farming. Just thinking that actually we might want to enable the straw swath, so that if we were continuing to play on here, we got some straw for our cows. That we don't have yet. In terms of contracts, there are a few cropping up now. So there's the standard transporting, cutting down dead wood, transporting logs. There is a mowing contract, always good fun. And if you're on PC, we are starting to get mods from some of the clever script modders that bring back proper mowing contracts. I've not played with that mod yet. That mod came out just before I had to take a bit of a break from stuff, and I've not gone back to look at it yet. But yeah, so there are contracts on the map, which is good. I'm not surprised, you know. Kind of to be expected from a map maker that puts so much effort in to creating an awesome product. Let's go. Yeah, wow, 62% full already. So I like that you start with some arable fields, because you're going to want straw for your cows. So we've got a really nice balance of, we've got a lot of grass fields, which means we can make hay and silage and stuff to make TMR, but equally you're going to want some straw. Not necessarily to make TMR, because you can make TMR from just silage and hay, but you are going to want bedding for the cows, and you don't really want to wait an entire year or have to buy it. So I think that's always a good addition to a starter farm. And yeah, we've got bags of seed as well. Very good. Yeah, we've got a very thorough starting setup. I'm not sure 2 headlands is going to give us enough room on here with all this water around. It makes it a real challenge, but I think it's going to be fun. So I have played one other Dutch map in FS 22, but it never saw the light of day. It was when Maze Plus released and my laptop broke, and I started a Maze Plus Let's Play on one of the Dutch maps, but then had to can it because I just couldn't run it on my backup laptop. So yeah, random fact for you. Yeah, three headlands on these fields, I think. If you want to see a Let's Play series on here, I know Mr. Kartek is playing on here. He started very recently. There are a bunch of Dutch creators that I think they stream on here. So yeah, if you speak Dutch, maybe go check them out. I do not. That quarter of Dutch heritage did not endow me with speaking the language because my Dutch grandparent spoke English all the time except with her few Dutch friends, and we visited very rarely. So and 85, I can probably get one more of these ridiculously short rows that GPS has decided to give me, and then we'll have to grab the trailer and load up, I think. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So I do intend for regulars of the channel. You might not be, you might have just tuned in to watch a map tour, and if you have, you're probably not watching now anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But for regulars of the channel, I do intend to play on here at some point properly, because I think this is a really nice map, and it's something a bit different to what I've played before. I'm not sure when that will be. It might follow on from Zolonka. It's between this and another map, which is another favourite, but it's kind of it's the comfortable pair of slippers. Not that I ever wear slippers, but you know what I mean. Versus the new and exciting sports car. This is the new exciting. And probably as we get closer, I will poll the patrons to see which one we go to. And I'll probably end up playing both options, but maybe with different things. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. It's kind of nice. So I've been obviously getting back into making content, and maybe not obviously, because you might just be watching this because you wanted to see a map tour of this map. But this is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I'm not having to think about what I've done before, what I'm doing next, and I quite like it. So the alternative was going to be that I was going to make a Terra Life Plus video on Bergeischland, which I will be doing soon anyway, but this was kind of a nice distraction. Just to do like a one-off on here, have a bit of just playing farm sim. No pressure, just harvest a bit of a field, see a bit of a different map. And probably what we'll do is we'll harvest the field and we'll take the grain to a sell point and just explore the map a little bit that way. Just get to see it from a different point of view than just flying around the map. And I mean, yeah, I'm not sure where we will take wheat. Let's have a look, shall we? I know my way around the menus. Honest. Wheat. We've got plenty of options. Maybe we'll go to the farmer's market because I'm not sure where that was. And it's about the longest drive. So, let's tell them. Okay, yeah, that works. That works. We'll go for that. But first, we will carry on combining, which is a real film opportunity they missed out on. No, that's just me. Just me? Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Oh. It's fine. It's fine. So there have been quite a lot of mods released lately. There have been some. I'm trying to think of any that particularly stood out to me. There was one that did actually, and it's kind of a random one. It was the one. It was for front loaders. It's basically for picking up logs, which is not something that I do a huge amount of. But I thought that might be really useful. It was basically a metal bar that had some straps on it. I could see that having uses, multiple uses. Really simple idea, but really, innovative modding, I thought. I don't think we had that in 22 or 19. I remember watching Mr. CDP using the big bag lift to do that kind of thing, which says to me we didn't have it. Or we did and I didn't see him use it because I don't always watch his content. So, yeah. We had another little BGA come out. I wonder where they got that idea from. And he looked at it on mod. I haven't actually looked at it in game. Looks like a similar concept to the mini BGA. Looks like it may be even more aggressive in its cheatiness to some points. So, yeah. Have a go at that if you fancy it, I guess. I did say that I would be updating the mini BGA whilst I was away from doing things. I didn't get a chance to do it. Life was so insanely chaotic that I didn't have the brain capacity to do much of anything, to be honest. Some days just functioning was the limit. Some days, yeah. It was not a fun time, to be honest. But we won't go there in this video. What we will do is finish harvesting the field on this awesome map. Then we will take a little drive in our stayer to the sell point to explore the map a little bit. And I guess we can go across there. I'm just trying to look for a route. That may be a bit of a journey. I'm not sure. I don't really know my way around, obviously. Having not played on here at all. So that could be interesting. But at least we don't have a dolly trailer. Guessing if we head down that way, we might find some measure of success. But yeah, really cool that the map's going to be coming to console. I did see some comments on some of the map tours and things of people being disappointed that it wasn't released on console initially. That wasn't because Monarchs hates console players. It was down to a shader issue that works fine on PC but doesn't work on console, which has been updated in this version of the map. So yes, PCs can do things that consoles can't, and So it's been fixed, and so should mean that the map can now come to console as well, which is awesome. We've got three more rows. So yeah, we should easily. I'm not sure, and we might not get it all in the trailer, but we'll just take a trailer full down to the sell point. And yeah, it's been a fun little distraction, diversion, different way of experiencing the map. Uh, it's nice to see such a complete starter setup. I know on Klein Friesland it was very similar. That even included bales for feeding and bedding down the cows initially. It's, I think, quite often, and this is not to, you know, I can't think of the right word, but it's not meant as a disparaging thing. There we go. I think sometimes, quite often, the starter setup on a map is a last minute thought from a map maker. You know, they put a lot of effort into making the map and that kind of thing, and maybe not so much into thinking about how to set up what the beginning player is going to play with. Some do, some don't. I don't know if you think about, was it Little Norton? One of that model series of maps, and his name escapes me at the moment. It could have been Attingham, where there was the whole story of the rundown farm and that kind of thing. So some clearly do, but not all do. So yeah, it's fun. It's good. The level of traffic is quite nice as well. It's not excessively busy, so you might get away if you're a course play and auto drive fan, predominantly auto drive. I guess you might get away with leaving auto drive on and it not having a massive nightmare. Not entirely sure, but you might. Probably have to experiment with that a bit. I generally play with traffic switched off because I am an auto drive course play user and it just tends to get in the way. So, yep. Nice little harvest there. Probably a decent amount of straw. That'll get you going for a little while. Certainly save you buying a few bales at the start. You've got the baler as well to get it baled. You've got the bale trailer to get it moved across to the cow farm. You've got like 4 million tractors to move it all around with. You're in a pretty good place. You're in a pretty good place. You might even be able to sell a tractor. Just get a bit of cash going. 4 tractors is quite generous. You could probably get away with selling a couple. We need to go over the bridge, don't we? Oh, damn you. Damn you and your waterways. This would definitely catch me out multiple times. Right. So we're headed that way. Let's just check the map, shall we? I'm not entirely convinced there's going to be a crossing down there. I'm not entirely convinced, but let's go have a look, shall we? Worst case, it's not very wide, is it? Realism is very key. No, no crossing there. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. That looks like we're going back into the farm at this rate. Yes. Yes, it does. I guess the fields are well irrigated, which is important. That is also important. Yeah. Okay. I did say I didn't have my way around, didn't I? I did. No. You're gonna need... I could see auto drive maybe getting itself confused, actually, and thinking it can hop across things. And really it can't. Probably this way, maybe. Yeah. Out of here. This will work. Right. Let's go with going along here. What are we looking for? Along there to the end. Yeah. That'll work. So let's enjoy this very nice map from in the cab, maybe? Yeah. It's probably better from externally, isn't it? Yeah. Very nice map. And you can see all the waterways on the PDA. Pretty sure Monarch made all of the bridges himself. I'm saying I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure. Into the village, past the playground. And this is why I wanted to do this, because we get to actually see some of the map. There we go. There's the store. It's a case dealership. And down to the sell point. So yeah, if you are playing this map and you are enjoying it, don't forget to go rate it on ModHub in the ModHub in game. You do help the modders out by rating them. You help motivate them. You help show them that you are enjoying playing the map. If you've got any questions about the map, stick them below, because I'm sure Monarchs will be checking on this video. And if not, I'll nudge him to make sure that he does. Okay. And if you've enjoyed this video, you could always click the like button as well. Let me know that this is an interesting way of doing a map tour. So here's the farmer's market. Did go in the right way, which is kind of a miracle. Looks like there's a bale sell point there as well. Oh, crash camp. Who put a bloody... Why would you put a bollard there, sir? Change gear. Yep. There we go. So, that is Rottumer Island. A very nice map by Monarchs. I think it's a very nice map. If you enjoy it, go rate it on ModHub. If you've enjoyed this video, click the like button, and I will see you all next time.